Peter Pan. Chapter 1. The Shadow. All children want to play happily forever. They love adventures and fun very much. One day, little Wendy was playing in the garden. Her mother looked at her and said, "Oh, my sweetie, I hope you never grow up." But all children grow up, except for one little boy. In the middle of London, the Darling family lived happily together. Mr. and Mrs. Darling loved Wendy and her younger brothers, John and Michael. They were not rich enough to have a nanny, so they had a large dog take care of their children. Her name was Nana, and she went everywhere with the children. One night, Mrs. Darling put the children to bed. Then she sat down to sew by the fireplace. She was so tired that she soon fell asleep. Suddenly, a window opened without a sound. A boy in a green leaves slipped into the room. He brought a strange light with him, and it flew around the room. At that moment, Mrs. Darling woke up. She was surprised to see the boy and cried out. Nana heard her scream and ran into the room. "Woof, woof!" She barked and sprang at the boy. The boy quickly leaped through the window, but he was a little bit slow. Nana caught his shadow between her teeth. "Oh, that poor boy. He will come back for this," said Mrs. Darling. She folded the shadow very carefully. Then she put it in a drawer. The real trouble began the very next night. After Mr. Darling and his wife went to a party, Nana barked again and again, so the cook chained her up in the garden. The children were fast asleep. Suddenly, a very bright light filled their room. Then the boy flew in through the window. "Tink," he whispered. "Where is my shadow?" "It's in that drawer, Peter," said Tinkerbell. He opened it and found his shadow. Then Tinkerbell jumped into the drawer to explore. But Peter didn't know and closed it. He tried to stick his shadow back on, but he couldn't. He sat on the floor and began to cry. When he woke up at Peter's crying. "Who are you?" asked Wendy. "I'm Peter Pan. I can't get my shadow to stick on." "Your shadow must be sewn on," she said. "I'm Wendy. I'll do it for you." She sewed Peter's shadow to his feet. "Thanks," cried Peter. "Here's a present for you." He gave an acorn to Wendy. "It's pretty, Peter. Thank you." She put it on a chain around the neck. Peter was so happy that he danced for joy. "Tink, come out and see me." Just then, they heard the bell ringing in the drawer. "Oh no, I shut her in the closet," cried Peter. When she opened the drawer, Tinkerbell came out and flew angrily around the room. "I'm so sorry, Tink," said Peter. "What is that light?" cried Wendy. "Oh, it's lovely. That's my fairy friend, Tinkerbell." "I wish she'd stand still," said Wendy. "Then I could see her. Fairies hardly ever stand still." "So how old are you, Peter?" asked Wendy. "I don't know," said Peter. "I ran away when I was a baby." "Why?" "I didn't want to grow up, so I ran away." "Oh, Peter, how sad." Then Peter told her more about his life. He said he was living with the lost boys in Neverland. "Did they run away too?" asked Wendy. "No," said Peter. "They fell out of their carriages and were lost." "That's tragic," cried Wendy. Then they went to Neverland. Now, They can live there as children forever. It must be wonderful in Neverland, said Wendy. Yes, it is. But we are lonely. Why? We have no one to tell us stories. And we love stories. How sad, said Wendy. I know lots of stories.